this old Coke machine that had some of the old Coca-Cola glasses, the bottles. I think there was I don't think they were like super, lots of money. I think they were like, $10 a piece or maybe more. I can't remember if it was 10 or 100, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Now if you get like maybe one when it was first came out, back I'm not sure the dates when it originally first bottled or something like that. It'd probably be worth some money.
Yeah, it's interesting how something, just something like that. I mean, even if it was like, even if it still had the cap on, it's out of date, and how much it can sell for.
My radio voice. The radio voice. Does this sound like? Just kidding. That's what Steven said in there. But there's actually I seen usually anything Coca-Cola, old Coca-Cola stuff does pretty well. Money wise, I think.
No, actually, we walked around. My next door neighbour, he's got his Christmas lights up, and he was sitting out the front last night having a rum and coke. Get the coke in on that. And we're sitting out there, and I kind of went out the front and went, "Oh, look at the lights," kind of thing. And Pete's walked over to me, and he's kind of gone, we're having a bit of a chit chat, and I've seen where he's got his rum and coke leaning. He's got all this really old like memorabilia.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a. It's not a. What's the hot rod that he's got in his shed?
You said a hot rod?
Well, sorry, not a hot rod, but like he's kind of like it's there. It's like an old 4-cylinder. I think it's a 1940 something or other. It's rare. Just the shell alone, as I said to him, because I pulled up on the phone. It's like the last one sold for $40,000, and I went, yeah. Why don't you sell us on eBay?
Yeah. Well, I guess. I'd be kind of afraid to do it on eBay. I know sometimes you actually make more money if you put you just set it. Some people set the limit, really high and then do it, but they say sometimes it's better just to set the limit really low. And then often it'll, go way up,
Yeah, you can do the I think I've never understood the no reserve.
I think the no reserve is, I think that's what you call it, isn't it? I used to use eBay a little bit, but I think no reserve is like, isn't that where, I'm trying to think. Jeez. Like there's no set limit to start off at, people says, or no, that's what they will accept. It's like a hidden price, I think. Isn't it? Like where if the buyer wants to get this much money out of it, and if the bids don't go over, then, it won't be sold or something like that. I don't know, weird. Haven't done eBay for quite a while, so.
Yeah, the same thing with myself. It's like my mother's fiance. He sells a lot of stuff on eBay. He sells a lot of World War One memorabilia. And it's very interesting in the way of like he's got the knives and he's got like hats and uniforms and this, that, the other, and the whole no reserve thing is it's always miffed me because like I'm kind of the person like when I go to eBay, I'm looking for when I go to eBay, I'm there to buy something.
Yeah.
So I usually go for the buy it now.
Yeah.
I don't want to bid or anything like that. Usually the buy it now means that it's going to be about like what, $10 more or $20 more.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah. Well, I think now some people don't. Some people use eBay more of as a store than an auction. Because just a place to sell their stuff because eBay is popular, or on the most part. And then they just want to sell their stuff, and that's it really. And then there's some people that want to perhaps make more money or something like that. But
Well, actually, I just bought the other week. Actually, I can't see. I'm looking around, even though I've got no video on, so I can't actually. I was looking around, so
Okay.
I was looking around so I could like pick it up and show it to you, but
Oh yeah,
my
okay.
video's not on. Um, but I've turned around and I've bought a bottle of Jupe, and I think over here it's about 70 or $80 for the bottle.
What's dupe? Dupe.
It's like a men cologne, kind of like going out, kind of one of a male perfume basically.
Oh, okay.
And so I bought that. I picked it up for $35 over here compared to the normal price tag, and it's not one of those cheap knockoff brands. And a saving of what 35 to $40.
Uh huh. Well,
It's
you s-
it's interesting what you can pick up and stuff. I'm actually gonna probably sell me a guitar and that soon.
oh well, which one are you gonna sell? What do you have?
I've got a Washburn left-handed one,
Uh huh. Washburn.
and it was bought for me. I don't play acoustic guitars, but it was bought for me, and it's worth about $600.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was given it to me, and I just kind of went, yeah, thank you very much, but I do not play acoustic.
You could play it, but maybe not make notes. But yeah, now surprisingly, I took a look at some of the acoustic guitars, and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize they could, cost that much. Some of them go, up to 1,000 or even more. But
You know, the strange thing actually is, I was one of the girls. She was working on the help desk when I was working at Synergy, and she turns around. She brought in this cello, and I sat there and I went, "Oh, cool, yeah, I'll play a bit of guitar, this, that, the other." And she turns around to me. She goes, "Oh, do you? This is the cello." She's very into her music, like orchestral and stuff like
uh
that.
huh.
And it blew me away because I turned around and I said, "So how much does one of those cost?" She goes, "Oh, this one here, it's worth, sorry, well, not worth, but um, how old was it? It was like over 100 years old, or like
Oh wow.
something crazy like that, and it was worth about $35,000." And I turned around to her and I sat there and I said, "Emma, that's worth more than my car."
Was it a Stradivarius? Or now I know they make violins, Stradivarius. Those are very famous.
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue of that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just one of those expensive things. And I just turned around and said, "Oh, did you get a loan out for it?" She said, "Oh, no, no, no. Oh, just we sold a house and had a bit of extra cash left over." And I kind of thought to myself, going,
Actually, Stephen asked you, real quick. Stephen asked you if that's AJ. I guess that's the one that gave you the acoustic. I guess that's what he's trying to say. He's in the chat room, I guess, Stephen.
"AJ? No, I don't know any AJs."
Oh, okay, if that's AJ. I told him I'd ask you, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, it just blows me away. Like, I guess you could say it's like with us, we spend our money on our technology, our computers, our electronics, and all that kind of stuff, our gadgets. But somebody spends that amount of money on a piece of wood and strings.
Well, even if it was 100, not even 100 years old, just with if it was made today, some of them are pretty expensive. I know you can get cheaper versions, but some of them run pretty high, the thousands for especially the bigger the size. The I guess cello's a pretty big size too. It's like the one that sits on the floor, right?
Yes, it was.
I think the cello does. I can't remember,
Yeah.
but I think it does. Okay, yeah, those obviously the bigger they are, the more expensive. So
Yeah, this cello actually sat next to me the whole day while it was there. I threw my hat on it, put a jacket on it.
it's, like, it's like a clothes or a
Yeah, and
clothes
then
hook or something.
yeah, put a hat and a jacket on it, me glasses on it, all that kind of stuff, and yeah, we actually had quite a bit of fun and stuff. It was definitely interesting that day because we had a few photos with it. Newest member to the team, this, that, the other, and there's like a picture of me, kind of like Chris, the team leader, or well, the senior
Oh, you
team.
mean like it was a real person? I guess for pictures with it.
Yeah, and they released this newsletter saying, "Hey, this is yeah." It was good. It was a good spot of fun. So
That really reminds me. This is when I was in the military, the Navy, and we were on a deployment, which is 6 months, and this is with the chief engineer, which is I think it was like a lieutenant commander, and somebody went into his stateroom and they took his Pink Panther that he bought for his daughter, and so he was asking around for it, and then all of a sudden a picture showed up, I guess in his room or somehow, and somebody took a picture of it, and it was tied up with rope and like a blindfold over it. They were like asking ransom for it or something like that. And then
they play those games over there as well.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the next picture came, and it was in the helo hangar, inside the helo, like it was flying the helicopter. And then finally he got it back, so he knows it was a joke, and so he didn't get too mad over it. It was pretty cool anyway. So
yeah, they do that over here as well. They string up the teddies as if they're hung, and well, they don't. Well, not anymore. It's all stopped now because it's all like the modern Navy, so to speak. But talking when it was boilers and all that kind of stuff to actually steam a ship. But it really was. It's quite interesting the ransom things. They do another thing over here as well. They go gnoming. This is just people in general. They go what you call gnoming over here.
Okay.
You go and you steal your next door neighbor. Oh, well, not your next door neighbor, the person themselves, but their gnome, or like somebody's gnome, and you go off and you start taking photos of it. The gnome is on a holiday, this, that, the other, and you start sending these, photos back to the house. And then once you finish with it, you put the gnome back.
Oh, you talking about like lawn gnomes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. First I was like gnomes, so like, oh, the little people with the pointy hats. Okay.
Yeah, like they sit there and they take them, and it's like they'll sit there and they'll like take a photo and then like put a caption down the bottom, kind of saying like they'll give it a name like Sebastian is on holidays in Tahiti or whatever, just silly things like that, and they send these photos back. They develop them, send them back to the house.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of put the gnome back. So this gnome's been on a holiday, basically.
You got free holiday, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you ever see those commercials that have the gnome, like Travelocity? Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen those.
Well, okay, maybe it's because it's in America, and maybe they don't show it in Australia. But it's like a garden gnome, and and it's pretty much your variety garden gnome, and it has its own voices talking, and it's got like funny little skits. And I'm kind of wondering maybe that's where that came from, that stealing the gnome and taking pictures of it. Maybe that's how I was kind of wondering. Maybe that's how they come out with the commercial, because people actually did that.
Probably is due to that. But so there's another town as well where I used to drill, just north of Kalgoorlie, at Agnew, and It is the most amazing sight you could ever see.